Black Cherry White Claws.
That's right.
Do it.
You like
Do
them?
it.
Yeah,
Do it.
I'm gonna drink
That,
one.
that's my A2.
I'm gonna drink this one.
Go for it. No, okay, good. I go with the ruby grapefruit, but black cherry is my A2. I'll take that. I'd like to see this is your first White Claw.
No, it's not my first White Claw, but it's the first White Claw I've had in quite a while, and there's a good backstory behind it. Wes's better half, she came over the house one day just to hang out because she was lonely because Wes went and, I don't know, did boy stuff.
We're watching a boxing match.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, there it is. He's watching a boxing match. So Sarah came and hung out, and she brought this as a housewarming / just drinking on a Friday, Saturday night gift. And my wife doesn't drink, and I wasn't drinking this at the time, so it sat in the fridge for a couple months. But it found its way. It found its home. It's going down tonight.
So that fight was November 6th of last year.
Oh, okay.
So we're knocking on the door in March. It's just I get it. Different strokes for different folks. That wouldn't.
Well, I mean,
even
it's
a White
not that I
Claw.
haven't drank though. Like I've polished off like a couple bottles of tequila, and like I've drank since then. Just I don't know. I didn't work my way to this White Claw until I opened the fridge, and I was like, you know what? Yep.
You're mine.
I'll tell you what,
Mine tonight.
I'm starting to be convinced that shit doesn't expire anyway. Like, I'm looking for a date on this thing, and I've got fucking the Matrix on the bottom of this can. And every time I try to find an expiration date on any food item that's in my fridge, here's the thing. You can find it on a box of crackers, lickety split. And I don't believe crackers ever go old. As long as they're not exposed to air, I'm pretty sure they're fresh for years and years. That's what they put in those darn MREs or whatever, ready-to-eat meals, REMs.
The REMs. Huh.
Yeah.
Those Michael stipends they give the soldiers.
They put shiny happy people in those things.
That's right. No, but have you ever tried to find the expiration date on something that counts? Like, I don't know, like a dairy product, such as sour cream. You can't find it. It rubs off before the shit expires anyway. The hazard foods, they don't explain it to you. And those are the things that I worry about.
Milk, you can find them on milk, and you can find. I've seen them on sour. I throw sour cream out because it's gotten close.
Yeah, but sour cream lasts like 4 or 5, 6 months.
Yeah, what's it get more sour? What's wrong with it? Exactly. I don't know. I don't fucks with sour cream. I'm not a sour cream fan. So it's not that I don't fuck with dairy. We had this whole milk conversation, I think, the other day. So yeah, but I don't fuck with sour cream. But milk, I mean, I feel like you just be dumb. Like milk doesn't even really need one. My milk always has one, but it doesn't really need one because if you open that bitch, you will know.
Sure,
it's not good.
That's true.
And sometimes if you open it, it doesn't have a smell. You take a little swig, it's sour. It's a telltale sign your milk's gone bad.
I don't know. You get some.
But
jackasses.
You
get some jackasses out there that are like, "Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna roll the dice. I don't have any money."
Or you let that milk. You let that bad boy sit there in the back of the fridge for a little while, and then you got yourself some some cheese, some fresh curds, and whey. I think because it separates out, you get both of them,
and E. coli and violent diarrhea.
Well, that's if you drink it. It's now used for a different purpose. You know that's all. Like it starts as milk, and then it just becomes yogurt and cheese and sour cream and other things. By age.
And through manipulation too, like you got to put some stuff in there. You can't just
shove it in the back of the
cheese is like salt and fucking milk curds sitting on a shelf somewhere. That's it. That's all cheese is.
Well, I've made cheese. You actually got to get like the it's actually like a bile. You have to get like the bile from the cow's stomach.
Yeah.
Then you let that shit go.
And
it's all there.
It seems like a lot more of a controlled environment than just pushing a gallon of milk 3 feet backwards.
But how uncontrolled is your refrigerator, motherfucker?
I'm just like, I might be splitting hairs here. It just seemed that way. That's all.
I'm going to be on Wes's team this time around. You don't just push milk to the back of the fridge and wait for nature to take its course. I don't think that's how cottage cheese is made.
You might get some semblance of cheese. I'll give you that. You might get something that might even be edible.
I don't personally do it. I'm just saying it's an option.
Okay. Yeah. If the shit hits the fan, if you're on your last nickel,
Yeah.
If
you are in dire need of a dairy product and all you got is the fucking rotten curds of your 2% milk from 6 months ago, I mean, have at it. It's still dairy.
When are you ever in a dire need of a dairy product? Is there an occasion?
I think an extreme calcium deficiency.
Yeah, I think you said that a little tongue in cheek. I don't know if you caught that.
yeah.
I'm just saying. I know. I'm wondering though. Sometimes there is a dire need. Like, I don't know, baked potato. Is there a dire need?
I bet you there is something. Hold on, let's Google it.
Okay. Well, while you're Googling. Oh, okay. I can't eat pancakes unless I have either bacon or sausage. I prefer a little bit of both. But if I have neither, I will not make pancakes. They just won't happen. It's just not a thing.
Yo, you
never. I won't.
If you don't have a meat, you won't make the breakfast bread. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Pancakes. But listen, hold on. I'd like to point out you just went from dire need to I won't eat pancakes unless I have a protein with it. Just won't do. I'll just eat something else. Like, come on, man.
Sure.
We're talking about dire need.
I know, but I'm saying, like, let's say you made the baked potato, right?
Yeah.
And then you look in the fridge and you're like, shit, I don't have any butter. I don't have any sour cream. There's no cheese. Oh, God. There's curdled milk back here, I suppose.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, they're... Again, we're talking about broke motherfucker, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I would probably roll the dice in that. That does sound...
Then what are you going to do? Are you going to eat a dry, freshly fluffed baked potato, like with nothing to moisturize it?
If I'm dying, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or if I'm
you said just a regular ass baked potato. Is that what you just said?
Yes. What is a baked potato without a dairy product? It's disgusting.
I think we're really
potato. Do you think potatoes are disgusting?
Yeah, but okay. There's not an instance where you're eating a potato without a dairy product attached to it in some capacity.
That's bullshit. I do not put cheese or dairy on all of my potato products. What kind of animal are you?
I think he's saying, hold on. We're really stretching the emphasis that I put on dire need. You're just talking about the word implies death. But we'll go on to like nicety versus necessity, et cetera, et cetera. Sure. French fries.
Okay, but that's not a potato. They have been enhanced in some capacity. They've been crisped and fried. They're barely potato. They're barely potato anymore. They are made of a potato substance, but I wouldn't qualify. Yes, they are made from potatoes. I'm not arguing that point, but that is far from potato.
Yeah, but by that logic, baked potatoes are not potatoes anymore because they've been manipulated.
Yeah.
These are your words. No. These are your words, Murph.
I hate you. I hate you sometimes.
You sell your words. You sell French fries as a starch in a restaurant. If you served before, starch of the night. All
right, what about like home fries or hash browns? Like, yes, you do put cheese on them, but you don't always put cheese on them.
That's true. No, I'm saying, like, when it comes to like the potato itself, just the potato, skin, potato, fluffed open, done. Like, there's very few instances, unless you're like Billy Bob Thornton living off that fucking shit diet he did in Hollywood because he had $0 and hadn't started shit yet. Then yeah, you're not going to just be like, well, I guess this will be fine. I'm saying if you've made the potato for dinner and you're like, you're throwing the potato away unless you have butter, cheese, sour cream, or anything of that consistency. I'll even say you could throw some cottage cheese in the middle of that son of a bitch, but you gotta moisten it up. There's no point otherwise. The reason I say that French fries don't count is because you've crisped them in the oil and you're probably going to use a sauce to dip them in. You're going to moisturize them in some capacity, even though the moisture has already come from the oil itself. A potato dry, just with like salt and pepper or something. Ugh.
I mean, that's fair. I guess, yeah, I mean, that's not wrong. I can't disagree with that line. I think we just went off on a totally crazy tangent when he brought it up. And his logic was sound.
No, you just like making me look like an asshole and fight out of the corner.
It's kind of fun.
What I was going to ask you guys initially when we started is, okay, so Alan had made it seem as though right before we hit the record button that White Claw, he said, I'm going to finish it off tonight. In my mind, it was, he's been working on this for a few days, which, okay, first of all, that's not crazy weird, but it is a little bit weird because I was going to ask you, have you guys ever opened a beer, put it in the fridge, and gotten it later, like more than an hour?
Yeah, but I was not really an adult person the last time that happened.
And that's a fair answer. That's an acceptable answer. Like when you don't have access to unlimited beers because, you have no job or access to it. Right. Yeah, I can see you saving that son of a bitch for, I don't think more than 24 hours. But no, I've started to drink and be like, I need to work out. I'm going to put this in the fridge. And it might be an hour later, 2 hours later. I'm like, oh shit, that beer. And I'll finish it off then. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Alan, what you said is a dire need. Okay, being young.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. I'm not talking about I'm really tired. I'm really drunk. I'm going to put this in the fridge. I'm going to get this, at happy hour tomorrow. No, I just dump it out. But yeah, I have an errand to run. I got to go down the street. I got to pick up some food. I got to pick up some curds for my potatoes that I'm going to cook later. I got to, I got to work out. But yeah, nothing more than that. That's what I was asking.
Now, when I used to go to South Carolina, my grandfather was so cheap that if we cracked open a soda and we left anything in there, I don't care how many drops you want to qualify as like liquid residue inside of a can, he would take a paper towel, just a little edge of the corner, and he would roll it up and he would put it in the mouth hole. And then you weren't allowed to have another soda until you finished what was inside that can, and he would inspect. And I don't know if you've ever had like day-old soda that's been opened in a fridge with a paper towel piece hanging out the top of it. I mean, it is like there's no carbonation, obviously, and then it's just like wet, cold syrup in your mouth, and you just have to take it. You just had to grin and bear it and swallow.
Yeah. They want you to drink those 12 ounces, asshole. Want you fucking Yanks from up north pissing away quality high fructose corn syrup.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Dude, and it was always RC Cola, which is already like, I don't know, like a full teaspoon of sugar sweeter than Pepsi.
Of course it was. It was the South.
Yeah. And plus RC is delicious. I still think it is.
It's okay. It's not delicious.
Ugh. Yeah.
I wouldn't go with delicious as a descriptor for RC Cola.
It's like it's a
bearable beverage.
It's a cola if you're into that sort of thing. I personally hate colas. I don't really drink soda, but colas is not it.
I mean, I don't drink sodas regularly anymore, but I don't know. I guess it's been so long since I drank soda regularly that I could sit. I'm just remembered from my youth. All right. Jesus,
yeah. I'm a very cliched brown person. I drink fruit flavored sodas if I drink soda, and or ginger ale.
You used to look for those fast food joints that had the purple stuff.
Yeah. It's like when I don't even eat McDonald's, but when I found out McDonald's took away the high C orange like a couple years ago, I was outraged for people who still ate at McDonald's. I was like, this is outrageous. That's the only thing you were still good for, McDonald's.
I can't eat at Taco Bell because they only have Pepsi products. I can't do.
Oh, word?
I can't. Yeah, no, I cannot do Pepsi. And Diet Pepsi doesn't even taste like an edible soft drink. Something that should be consumed by man. I don't know what that is. Diet Coke is, if you're going Diet Coke's where it's at. And then the Taco Bell I go to has no diet options at all except for Powerade, which is not diet, and then just straight up like water, which I will never ever get tap water out of a fucking fountain soda machine. That is just like just go ahead and give me multiple diseases in my mouth right now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Out of a fountain soda machine, maybe not as bad, but like there are some restaurants who just hit you with the tap. There you go, bitch. Here's your water.
I prefer that.
Not even bar gun you water. Just here's water.
I'll take bar gun water, and
bar gun water's fine.
They clean those tips, man. I remember working at Wes. You remember the gas station I worked at on 95?
Yeah. So, Alan Murr worked at one of those middle of exits. Like
I've heard this. One of the Maryland centers.
It's like
the Chesapeake House.
Chesapeake House.
So Chesapeake House. So yeah, Maryland House. That's it's called.
Yeah. Maryland House is in Harford County. The next county up. Same deal.
I thought they were just like a type of thing. I didn't know there were specific ones. You people up north in Maryland are weird.
That's right.
Well, it's just a way of siphoning money off all the folks coming down from New Jersey.
Well, yeah.
Because it's like the next stop and they can't pump their gas, so we charge them an extra 40 cents to get out and do it ourselves, do it for them since they can't do it themselves. Right. But we had the soda machine, and I remember the owner coming in and being like, "Okay, you guys want to clean those taps? I see a little bit of syrup on them," and I'm just like, "You can." I looked at my manager. I'm like, "You can clean this? How do you take them off?"
Oh,
he had to show us how to remove
two
them.
piece. You just spin it. Comes
man.
right off.
I'd been working there 2 years. Okay, those things had never come off that fucking machine.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty sure most places I have worked at take them off every evening.
Yeah, you put them in nearly boiling water in a pitcher.
And put them in water. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So once again, reason number 439 why I won't drink tap water out of a fountain machine.
That's fair. You get you stop it. You're on your way down from Jersey, probably heading to fucking Myrtle Beach. Just to mimic your beach experience in a different state, and you stop. The kids are hungry. You stop in for a $6 fucking slice of Sparrow, and fucking get yourself a really scummy fucking cherry Coke from the fountain.
Yeah,
that sounds fucking terrible. I'm never stopping at one of those places again.
And this has some sugar pockets in it. Oh, man,
it's got sugar lumps. Did you know the cherry Coke did that?
Maybe it's different in Maryland.
It's fresh. It's fresh cherry chunks.
Fresh bits of cherry. Gross.
Oh shit! Middle Classholes, everyone. Murr, Allen, Fox, man, it's a little difficult to be so joyous and happy and jokey around with what's going on in the world today. But we're gonna do our best.
Happy first day of World War III, guys.
We're gonna do.
I feel fine. I don't know about you.
I'm
okay. I
mean, we're just riding this way. Hey, look, we're all above drafting age if it comes to that, which it won't.
Good point.
So,
especially me, I'm fine. I learned that I can't even volunteer. I'm like 3 years beyond volunteer.
Yeah, they're like beating. So. I'm fucking blind. They'll be like, no thanks. So
I'm the odd man out. What is it? What is luck, drafting age? 36.
No, you can still join the the Air National Guard.
Yeah,
you can join the Air National Guard. As long as you do it, as long as you're show up to boot camp before your 40th birthday. So,
I couldn't show up for the armed services to enlist as an officer with my college degree.
No, because you have no military training at all.
There's people who go in to officers training after 4 years of school with no, basically they had to go through basic, but then they come out as a second lieutenant or something like that.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that that's a thing.
Yeah.
No, it is a thing. I'm not saying you're wrong that that's not a thing, but you have to go to an officer's training school. They don't just hey, what's your degree in? Political science.
No, I think you can.
Yes, sir, Captain.
ROTC, man. It's isn't that part of it?
Yeah, but you have to go to the school. You're right. I'm saying that you're right. You have a 4-year degree. Then you apply to you apply to the military school. You do basic training. You go through a year or two's worth of school. They still have to teach you military strategy. They don't just.
But at the end of I think fucking the jackwagon who dropped out of your senior year of fucking high school who went in is still grunting it out and is not even attempting to become an officer because he's just sucks. You get what I'm saying? So you at least get that leg up.
Right. Yes. Now,
you get to kind of march right into it because you got a degree, I guess.
My question is, could I enlist for that now at my age, or they would turn me down at 39?
No, because you wouldn't make it. You have to be in basic training by your 40th birthday, and by the time you did all the shit you'd have to do, I'm going to say no.
I got September. I got 7 months.
7 months.
I don't know, man. If you're fit, which I think you probably are physically fit enough, at worst they make you trim a couple Lonnie Baxters, and then you're good to go. I think you might be able to do it. You'd be surprised how quickly they get you to sign a contract and fucking take your life away. So,
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to do it. I don't know what you guys think.
I seriously contemplated it like really, 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 really hard. But I was like, I got a kid. You can't do that. You can't do that now. But again, it would only have to be in the reservist capacity, and I think 36 is the cutoff for all the other branches, except for the Air Force. Like they're the only ones that are like, yeah, look, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be sitting at a computer, so just
you're sitting in air conditioned trailers, and like you're fine,
right?
Like all the other 3 branches have to be decimated before they strap a firearm to your side. Like.
It was. I definitely was listening to some. I don't know who was speaking. I don't even know what channel it was on. I was kind of bopping around channels, just getting perspectives today. And there was a general who definitely like kind of slipped up, but it's just the inherent like razzing of the Air Force in general that happens amongst the military. And he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna move some troops around here in like Poland and Estonia and Lithuania and whatnot." And he was like, except for the airmen, they're just going to hang out back at that just kind of like realized it and then moved on to his next point. But like definitely shit on the airmen. He was like, we're going to put like, we got to move some real troops around in case some shit happens. But the airmen are going to stay back and like, make sure the paperwork's cool. And
you're right. That's what he was doing. But at the end of the day, like, you're going to keep a plane in a war zone? No, you can just fly it in from afar. Like those are there's a reason they call the Air Force the smartest branch, because those guys, they're intelligent dudes. They have to be
smart.
They're in control of multi-million-dollar aircraft, and they have to fucking take them in and bring them back and blow shit up in the process.
They make fucking tanks that fly.
It's true.
Yeah.
I was thinking I could also. I think there might be a loophole. I could become a merchant marine.
I'll do that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What do the merchant marines even do? They just they patrol
the certain you just inspect merchant vessels.
Yeah.
Fucking pop up and be like, "Hey guys, you guys smuggling any fucking Volkswagens in here?"
I think the actual official tagline is, "Let me see your merch." When they board the ship.
Yeah. Like, what you got some VCRs? Crack this bad boy over. What are these Panasonics?
They probably pull the old bullshit like, "I am the captain." Like the Tom Hanks movie. That's me.
They probably do a very valuable service, and we're just shitting on them.
They definitely do. They definitely make sure that there's not cargo containers filled with terrorists ready to pop out like a Batman movie. Yeah.
Merchant mariners move cargo and passengers between nations and within the United States, and operate and maintain deep sea merchant ships, tugboats, and towboats. So that's exactly what they do.
Like Popeye.
Yeah. Like, oh hey, we broke down. Call the merchant marines.
Yeah, but okay. Now you say that, but isn't there like I don't know if you saw this in the news? There's like a fucking whole ship on fire with like Porsches, and the only reason anybody cares is because there's a whole ship full of Porsches on fire, and it's the only ship I've ever heard of on fire at sea anybody cared about, because it's probably like $1 billion of fine handcrafted machinery just ready to fucking go up, and they're just. But where's the merchant marines now? Huh? Where are they now? Where are they?
They're not firefighters, bro. Look, they're fucking tow truck operators and anti-smugglers. Okay, it's a unique game.
Shit. The first news story that we're going to do tonight takes place out of Tempe, Arizona. So, Secret Service agents were hired by Home Depot to look into the one particular employee that they thought might be counterfeiting and switching some money. Okay. The suspect was identified as Adrian Gene Pineda, sorry. So he works at the Home Depot near I-10 and Baseline, for our Tempe listeners out there who know what we're talking about. This gentleman, he was his job was to count deposits from the registers at the store, then transfer the cash to the bank. So between there and the bank, he would take out real money, swap it in with counterfeit. Secret Service, after an investigation that but recorded from January 18 to January of this year, 4 years, it was estimated that Mr. Pineda, I don't even know what you call this. This is washing, right? This is, or just straight up stealing,
embezzling,
swapping. $387,500.
And how long a period of time?
4 years.
That's not bad.
No, and that's estimated.
Like 100,000. That's like $100,000 a year. That's I mean, that's not bad for a Home Depot job.
No.
But what were they? Why? Okay, I know why they do this in general. Is like they let you like build up a portfolio so they can really come down hard on you and all that kind of stuff. But why 4 years? Like after year one, like $100,000 of fake cash. Like why wouldn't you go after it then? But now explain this to me. So he was making fake. He had fake money, and then he was replacing like the Home Depot's money with the fake money, like on deposit slips.
Yeah. So
on deposit trips.
He would have a stack of cash, a stack of hundreds, and he would take out whatever hundreds he would take out. He would replace them with fake ones in a stack. So you take a little, you shave a little bit off and replace it with phony stuff. My guess is that it started out probably not long before 2018. I don't know how long or how long he was working there, how old he is, but that's just, it says suspected when they started or dated back to him. My guess is he started small and then just couldn't fucking help himself, No.
Yeah. No. Okay. At what point do you start getting ballsy? Like after the first year, like, I mean, you know how it is. Okay, even when you're doing like a dangerous job or something you're uncomfortable with, like the first time sucks. Like you're freaking out and you're frazzled. And the second time you're still a little queasy, but you get through it. Seriously, by the third or fourth time doing something kind of hazardous, like you just don't give a shit anymore. Right. Like you just it just becomes second nature. So at what point do you go from because I guarantee you started out with like, $100 bill. Look, I got $100. Look, I switched them out. They'll never notice. So at what point do you go from $100 to $100,000?
Well, it was $100,000 over. That's over a year. I mean, they say he was doing about $1,000 a time. So, yeah. Okay. But and
it's only 10 bills.
And as the resident, so coming from someone who has some background in this, a la making a fake train tickets, and the first time I used it, I was extremely nervous and my heart was racing. Second time a little bit less, third time a little bit less, and then it became second nature until I got caught.
Yeah, and almost to where you're indignant when you do get caught. Like, come on, man, it's like $300 a year. Fuck that! I ride it every goddamn day.
That's real.
How am I supposed to get to work? This is bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think you're absolutely right. $100 here, $100 there. And just kept pushing the boundaries, just kept pushing the limits to see, how a couple hundred, 300, 500, 800. Then, like, Christ, I can do this $1,000 a time. And they don't know.
I know, but you think about this, like to do $1,000, that is literally only 10 pieces of paper. That's it. It's 10 pieces of paper. Like you probably do believe like, okay, it's only 10 sheets of paper. I'll get away with 10 pieces of paper every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah, but then
either that or it's the opposite. It's smaller bills because smaller bills usually aren't as checked.
Right.
That's true.
And it said like an article I was reading. So I don't know if you mentioned, but I guess he did the cash deposits to the Wells Fargo that the Home Depot banked with. You know what I mean? So he had access to like the registers. He tilled them out every day and closed them out and shit. So like, I mean, I've closed out my registers back when I was like 16, 17 and was just walking around with fat fucking stacks, just walking to the front desk at the Kmart being like, hey guys, this is the money that we made.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Like, you have to suspect, even anyone with half a wit has to understand that if you continue to do this over a period of time, someone's going to catch on. The bank's going to tell the store's going to tell corporate. Then you get the Secret Service involved, and the Secret Service, it probably, with the help of the IRS, probably one of those, what's that fucking Ben Affleck movie, The Town, And they got that agent who was in that one drama that I really like, Mad Men.
Boomerang? Is that Eddie Murphy?
No, Mad Men. Who's the star of that? I forget. His name's eluding me right now.
John Hamm.
John Hamm. He plays the agent who knows everything about money. Knows the width, the size, the texture, the taste. How you get some motherfucker like that on the case?
It's crazy.
Well, let me ask you this: how would you do it? Like, if you were gonna like counterfeit money, like what would your operation be? Because I've always said you need to get down to coins somehow. Because coins you can't trace coins. No one gives a shit about coins. Like, it has to be, to me, it has to be so small. And I don't think you could mint your own coins or anything. But if you did, how many times have you gotten a Canadian quarterback, like just working at a store, getting change from a store, you just shove it in your pocket and then you're like, fuck, this won't work anywhere. And then what do? You instantly try to pass it off as a quarter to the very next person that you have an interaction with. I'm just saying, it would be tough, but I would say what denomination do you go with? Dollars?
I don't know. I mean, what type of denomination and where? I mean, I think you work something in a town like Vegas where cash money is plentiful and being dispersed all over the place. How? I don't know.
But I feel like Vegas probably tips the banks and other people off on how to like spot counterfeit. So I feel like you'd be in such a hotbed. I mean, maybe if you went to like one of those like Indian casinos or something where they handle lots of money, but they're not like on the up and up.
Ooh, yeah.
Upper tier.
And if you get caught, fucking normal white person law doesn't stand. You get caught on Indian ground. Indian law stands. I'm sure that'd be a fucking hoot.
What do they tape you to a cactus and fill you full of peyote until you fucking freak the fuck out? Like, what's their
maybe,
rule?
man? I don't know. I don't know.
Their tradition.
No one's lived to tell about it.
Sounds like a reasonable punishment.
I always just thought that I would do like $5 bills, right? And then I would go buy packs of gum at just really rinky-dink rundown roadside convenience stores and get like $4 and change back. And if you did that like every day for a long period of time, it just accumulates. And then, you're not going to become a millionaire or anything. But if you're able to pull that off over like a 10-year span, you'd make, I don't know, $50,000, $60,000. That to me seems like reasonable for never getting caught and also making
so you always
$60,000.
You always have a small, not the smallest, but a smaller-ish denomination of bill, 5 or 10. And then when you go to convenience stores, where for the rest of your life, you use that to buy something and get as much change or as much change as you possibly can.
Yeah. And then, and if it looks like somebody who's might find you out, like, yeah, you just not today. Like, I'm not feeling it right now. But yeah, you got some snot-nosed kid, third, fourth day on the job. You go up and you buy yourself a pack of like Wrigley's spearmint gum or something. Like, we'll say we'll use yours. We'll do $10 bills.
Yeah.
You get $9 and like, what is it? You get $9 and change back. That's $9 every time. And then if they catch you, be like, oh, well, I just got this. Yeah. It changed at the last place I was at. My bad. I mean, here, have your gum. Give it back to me and I'll burn it. And
I was going to say,
use the next fucking place.
My mom got caught with a counterfeit bill at McDonald's. Yeah. And she said she's like kind of appalled at how rude they were. But I understand. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because I caught some counterfeit bills working at the gas station, and I knew it. And I just remember looking back at the guy and being like, "I'm not taking this." And I'm like, "What? It's a $10 bill." I'm like, yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, so what makes you think you can fucking print bills that if you why? Because you have the eyes and the ears and the hands to be able to detect something like that?
No, I'm just saying, like, you got to be careful. But when you get caught, you can't be a dick about it. You just got to be like, oh, dude, I just got this at the last place. I didn't realize. Is that? And then, like, I don't know, keep it, I guess. I don't know. What do we do? You want to call the cops? Like, what do you want? Like, you know what I mean? You put the ball back in their court, because I didn't call the cops on the guy. I just told him I wasn't taking it. And eventually he just like slid it back across the counter and left. Like, am I wrong? Maybe. But I was also like 19 years old. Fuck am I going to do? Get in some fucking weird drug smuggling fucking counterfeiting ring? Like, calling the cops on some guy for a $10 bill that he willingly did not let me give up. You know, he didn't put up too much of a fight over. Right. He's like, hey, fuck you, bye.
So basically,
I just feel like that's the way.
You stole your idea from this guy, though.
I mean, it didn't work. So yes.
I'm just kidding with you, man. Just fucking with you. All right, Alan.
It's funny that you bring it.
What's up?
But no, I mean, I think it's probably impossible to do ish today to an extent like that. I mean, I guess how long ago was this? He did it, didn't he? No. Because I mean, you're always going to get caught. Like, money's tracked very well these days, and especially large deposits that go into fucking, federally insured banks. They know, like, there's numbers on them. They'll figure it out, and then they'll get back to you, and they'll because the only thing that matters in this justice system is money. Don't forget that. So you start stealing from big corporations, you're going to get taken down. There's going to be camera footage of you being a dickbag and getting taken down. If you do it, definitely small bills. But still, I just don't think it's like, now it's just a dumb move. Like, financial crimes sounds appealing, but it's rough. But I guess at the end of the day, it's better than, like, murder or anything. You're not going white collar crime. Yeah. You get 10 years.
You ever heard of the term just joshing you?
Yes.
Yeah. So the origin, I knew about this. I didn't know the exact fact, but the origin of the expression can be found in the 1800s when a young man named Josh Tatum noticed that nickels minted in 1883 were almost the same as $5 gold pieces in terms of size and design. He and his friend began to electroplate these coins and pass them off as $5 pieces, eventually amassing a small fortune.
Wow. So he was basically just like gold leafing them, and there was no gold, but that's crafty. Now, you know why coins have the ridges on the side?
Ooh, it's so you can rub them against your skin when you're itchy.
No, because when they were made out of silver, people would take sharp knives, and like shave off a little bit of silver around the edges, and then they would, then you'd have a less valuable coin that they would pass off because it was pretty close. So then they put the ridges on the edges, so that way if you tried to shave it, you wouldn't take a coin that had the ridges shaved off. So that's why you have your ridges on the sides of your coins. That's why you got your scratcher coins, like your dimes and your quarters. Nobody gives a shit about their nickels and pennies.
That's so you get like old timey, like most of our old mint has moved out of circulation because we're weird like that. But like, if you look at old timey coins, they're all jagged and fucking not perfectly round and shit. They definitely look like fake money. It's like in England too. Like, you get coins and you're like, this shit's from like the fucking 1700s. Right. Like this look at this thing. It's barely even a piece of metal anymore.
Yeah. Well, wasn't some of the confusion back then too was that states were printing their own money? And like some of the currency was worth something in a neighboring state, but might not be worth something in another state because they didn't like that state.
Yeah, like here when the colonies were around, yeah, that was the thing. And by the way, the first counterfeit proofing was done by none other than the old Benjamin Franklin. And he would go out and he would find specific leaves with specific patterns, and he would print the money and press it with those leaves. So that like that, you know what I mean? Like that was like the grains or the veins of the leaves. Like that told you if a bill was legit or not.
That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Franklin did some things. Okay, let's not start here. Let's not.
Stories about Ben Franklin's exploits are embellished, to say the least.
Let's not start building statues for this guy. All right. Oh, shit. All right, man. Hey, look, we got a really hot and heavy topic for you on this week's Friend or Foe.
That's right, my friends. It's time for me to read a news story to you. See if you agree or disagree, friend or foe. And it goes like this. My main squeeze, Elon Musk, he's got his Neuralink brain chip that's on the horizon, and it could give users orgasms on demand. The revolutionary device could be implanted in human subjects by the end of this year, and some experts believe it could completely revolutionize human sexuality. Now, when he was on the Joe Rogan Experience talking about his Neuralink chip, they were discussing a specific woman who had some sort of ailment, and she could basically press a button and cause herself to orgasm. She could not stop pressing the button. She actually developed an ulcer and then eventually a callus on her finger that had access to the button because it was her only way to control pain. And she eventually said, "Kill me." She was giving herself 1,500 orgasms a day. And Elon said, yes, it would be possible to locate the orgasm center of the brain using your Neuralink. So, friend or foe, knowing that you could have access to your orgasm pleasure center of your own mind at any moment in time, should the Neuralink have a regulator placed upon it, or are we humans of free will? And if we want to take a quick break in the middle of our workday and blast a few off in the bathroom, should we be free to do so? Wes?
All right. So based upon how you phrased it, because there was a part in this article that I read that also talked about possibly alleviating drug problems as a result of it. Now, they didn't get into it very much because it was very focused and centered around orgasms. So I'll leave the discussion to that. I'll leave the discussion at that. Faux, fee, fi, faux, fum. Fuck no. That's dopamine just wants more fucking dopamine. All right. If you have a Jeopardy style button that your thumb can go down and push the little red button, and Alex is like, Wes, like, no, man, people won't control themselves, man. It's just out of control, coming all day. Listen, we aren't that far removed from a generation of people that used to jerk off to scrambled porn and lingerie sections of JCPenney's. Okay. I'm not saying we should be stuck in that because today's catalog of the internet is endless and you'll never get to the bottom of it. The sign will never come up and say, "Oh, you've watched it all. Go back to the beginning." You shouldn't be able to do this. No way.
So you're saying, so definitely put a regulator on it. That part of your brain should not be allowed to be accessed by the Neuralink.
That's correct.
Okay. Alan?
I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like, I guess you would call it a regulator, but I feel like you keep it fairly open. You maybe just limit it to like times a day. You know what I mean? Not like time of day, but like quantity of times per day. Just to, maybe save someone from killing themselves via orgasm, which sounds like both a tantalizing and awful way to go. Very dehydrated, I would assume. Lots of cramps. It just sounds bad. But no, I like how you mentioned that the article does say something, that would be potentially productive for human society, like drug addiction. Like, could we help use that? But Dude Bro Musk focuses on orgasms because why not, right?
He didn't focus on orgasms. He was asked the question and he did his long weird Elon pause, and because Rogan was like, "What does that mean? Somebody can just give them an orgasm whenever they want?" And he goes, Well, I suppose so. Yeah. Why not?
It was a footnote in the article. It's like, could cure drug problems, but back to the orgasms. Anytime,
anyway,
all day.
Lady fucking literally killed herself with orgasms.
Listen, if you have it to where what you just chalked it up to, like quantity a day, listen, you're gonna have protests of groups that say, "How can you control this? No, Elon's playing God. I should come all day." Or you're gonna have some.
I'd love to be at that protest.
You're gonna have some Elysium, a la Matt Damon situation where fucking computer hackers can be like, "Oh, you $500. You want the release? You want the unlimited? Yeah, I want the unlimited. Here you go, man. $500, please."
I didn't think about that. That's a whole different topic.
You didn't think about Elysium? That's a hell of a movie.
No, I did not think about Elysium specifically. But no, I mean, you got a point. But I think there are to wrap it up. I'll friend the Neuralink in general, not necessarily for orgasming, but because I do believe that I mean, that's the final frontier of like medicine, right? It's like you've got the brain is just a ball of fucking electricity and nerves that makes our meat sacks do stuff. And we have no idea how they work, really. We're like, we found a couple of places that make us talk and make us feel things, but that's about it. We don't have any of the other complexity of it. So, again, Musk, great idea. Let's see what happens with it, or if it fucking lands in the trash heap with his fucking super trains and his whole boring machines and the rest of the other fantastic ideas that don't actually come to fruition.
Now, I while we were talking, I looked up the medical story from before. This guy literally called his device the Orgasmatron and hooked it directly to the. And his name was Dr. Maloney, and he hooked it up to this woman's brain, and it was there because she was an addict, and it was to control the pleasure center, so that way, when she was in chronic pain, she could give herself an orgasm to alleviate the pain. Unfortunately, that section of the brain is so craving that induction of stimulation that she just could not stop pressing the button. But it would be a shame that, like Alan was saying, reasonably this time around when it comes to Elon, that like this might be the next step. We've heard a lot about AI and all this stuff, and how artificial intelligence could be our own demise, which, you know, the creator creates the destroyer of the creator. And his whole philosophy is that we need to integrate with artificial intelligence to survive. And how a shame would it be for the human race to go extinct because we couldn't control our orgasms based on an implant put in our head? I think most normal people could learn to control themselves. I mean, it would be like that fun little, like, okay, we have access to porn 24 hours a day. And as you said, we have, we're the generation that dealt with scrambled porn and the Sears holiday catalog, which, by the way, one year had to go to South Carolina, and the J.C. Penney catalog had come. And I flipped through until I found the lingerie section. I was probably 14, 15, and I made sure I tore out a nice little section of the bra area, and then tucked it up real nice and tight and packed it away in my suitcase. And I used that bad boy for about 4 days. Man will find a way, and it'll probably be a man. But I don't think that should thwart us from the next evolutionary step in the human progression. So I will go, friend, we should have access to the Orgasmatron via Neuralink. It's there. I feel like there's so many other things that it'll give us the capability to do. Like, I wouldn't have to look any of this information up. I would just say Orgasmatron in my head, and it would tell me everything I need to know about the Orgasmatron. That's what the Neuralink is supposed to do. And I think if we have access to that kind of information at the moment of thought, I think that trumps. Come on, orgasms on demand. Pretty good, man.
Hey, I got a real quick. Well, go ahead, Alan.
Giving every human the entire basis of human knowledge and misknowledge, we'll call it, at the touch of at the thought of a thought, because it's not even the touch of a button. At that point, you're just thinking about stuff. You're like, frazzle drips. Yeah, that seems real. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's Jewish space lasers. Yeah. There's I see an article here. That's good. That's legit. That could be bad. It could be good. It could be bad. I assume it gets Google branded, and we all just fucking become drones. Eventually.
Well, let's change the friend or foe to Neuralink in general. Then, like, I still say friend to the Neuralink because, I mean, let's be honest. When you bring up a movie, what do we all do? We scramble for our phone and we try to find that movie, that date, yada, yada, yada. But what if we could just think it and we just know it instantly? Like,
that's wild, though. Who controls the fucking database of knowledge?
Yeah, man.
We had the internet became a thing, and we were like, it's going to fucking change the world, man. Everyone's going to have knowledge at their fingertips. And then everybody was like, fuck that. Knowledge is fake.
Okay, granted.
Some of it's real. Guess which ones? Like,
dark
I'm
web.
giving you I give you credit for the argument, but we also know, and Wes, I know you've dealt with them on a personal basis on the internet when you're talking to your conspiracy theory friends on the other side. Like, we all have access to the same internet, but we all don't fall prey to the same bullshit. Like the three of us, generally speaking, are pretty good at regulating what we believe to be the truth and what we believe to be the bullshit. I'm just saying that would be enhanced, but I feel like the same people that aren't fooled and swindled still won't be fooled and swindled, and the same dumb fucks that are still will be. So it's still an even playing field, just at a more rapid, instantaneous pace.
Oof. But I don't know, because like you got to keep. We're getting really deep into the numbers here, but like, okay, let's account for a portion of the population that's probably below the poverty line to a point where they don't have ready access to a computer. So like, yeah, we have phones in our hands, but those people have probably landed in circumstances for whatever reason that they don't have access to the internet now, in a world where the internet is literally at a fingertip. So imagine if we gave them the internet and we increase the fucking population of stupidity. Yeah, we might get a couple fucking Rhodes Scholars in a Yo-Yo Ma, but fucking we're also gonna get a lot of fucking bottom of the barrel stuff just tapping into the knowledge base of the world.
Right. That's called the digital divide, baby.
I'm just saying, it could skew it is all I'm saying. Who's in charge?
Yeah.
If it's not Google, then I don't want.
And then again, what's more protests? Like, Musk, who are you to play God? I come when I want.
Hey, I come when I want.
I do have a question for you, Murr. So when you tore out that section of the holiday Sears lingerie catalog, did you replace it with a counterfeit, like some sort of like stick figure drawing?
No, but I can't tell you the amount of concentration there was on the rip from that seam. I had to pardon the pun here, but I had to spread it wide, right? And I had to make sure I got like all the way down to the sticky glue, and then pull like very gingerly. Like it took me probably like 30 minutes to get this page out, like without any like remnants of its existence. Because those things were paper thin, like newspaper paper thin. And you had to really get in there nice and tight.
You're saying the rip would have been way down in the towards the what is that? The heel of the book, the binding.
I guess the inner spine. I don't know what you call it, but I know what you're saying.
To where you couldn't see it, and then you were banking on your grandparents not noticing 2 missing pages. Hey, look, it's 536 to 540. What the hell happened? What the hell happened?
The negligees are gone.
Yeah. Somehow I thought maybe like a 80-year-old woman wouldn't miss like the, negligees for, 20-somethings. And I figured I'd get away with it, which I did. And so, yeah, I mean, but by like day 3, it was just like, come on. This still gets you. This is still good. This is still a good pick.
Ian Kerngold.
Look at her. She's beautiful. All right, so that wraps up the debate about orgasmatron, whatever the hell it is. Whatever kooky contraption these people are coming up with these days. But nonetheless, we move on to that favorite time of the week, OMG. Fun facts.
That's right, my friends. It's officially time for 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. OMG facts, brought to you by the Shin Splints Recovery Group. If you've got shin splints and you're in recovery, find the Shin Splints Recovery Group on Facebook. It's a bunch of like-minded assholes like yourself, a little bit of pain below the knee and above the ankle. And if you would like to speed walk again, they might have some advice for you. Find the Shin Splints Recovery Group on Facebook. Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Did you know Egypt's Great Pyramid weighs an estimated 6,648,000 tons?
Ooh, that's just one of them?
Yeah. Yeah, the great one, the big one. One in the middle. You got 3, you got the big one.
Ooh. Now, I mean, I kind of have an understanding of how long they were taking to build. I kind of have an understanding of how they actually tried to recreate how they got the rocks. It's kind of an assembly line of like rollers where they, they keep passing it to the front. And they use PVC piping. I saw a documentary on that, but no, did not. Yeah, no, the weight that you just mentioned, no, not shocking, but didn't know that weight.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. And there's another fun fact about that. It's like Cleopatra lived closer to the invention of the iPhone than she did to the construction of the pyramids. Like, that's how old the pyramids are.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, go back 2,000 years and then go back another 5,000-6,000 more years.
Yeah.
And there's might be some lowly Jews stuffing rocks in a PVC pipe and dragging them up a hill.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real. It was aliens. So it is what it is.
Wait, isn't there scripture within the pyramids of telling their story about how they built them?
Well, and even okay. And if we're simplifying it that far, scripture in the pyramids, and have you seen what it looks like?
With my own eyes? No, I've never been to Egypt.
Okay, you fuck. I'm saying like the imagery is not of human beings. The imagery is of what we would call in this era extraterrestrial looking creatures that are in charge of a group of like slave people.
Damn,
and which would make
they had had one stone to etch and one stone to hammer. Their art skills and the tools and the utensils that they were using couldn't have been that good. You know, they make do.
Yeah, you're right. And there's buildings and bridges around the country right now falling with the most sophisticated technologies ever created by man, and yet these still stand 6 million tons later over what 8,000 9,000 years.
Have a bunch of fucking Humvees drive over it. Do you think it'll stand for centuries more?
Yes, sure do.
What about tanks?
They had a limestone.
Transformers almost blew it up, and the one with Shia LaBeouf.
Optimus Prime almost stepped on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fair point. No, there is a there's another documentary I watched, and it's about the guys who figured out how to read the hieroglyphs. And there was a point where one guy figured it out. It took him years, and he figured it out. And as soon as he had that eureka moment, he went to Egypt. Now this is back like late 1800s, and he was standing in a room and looking around, and he was the only person in the world that could read what was written around him.
Oof, that's pretty baller. The other thing the other thing I was going to say is a lot of people don't realize how far outside of Cairo it is. You got to drive a little bit. It's not far, but it's got a little bit of a hike.
It's a little bit of a camel hump out the way. Yeah. You're right. Did you know there were identical twin brothers, Josh and Jeremy? They married identical twin sisters, Brittany and Brianna. Both couples gave birth to baby boys at the same time on the same day. Although technically cousins, the boys are genetically brothers.
It's
fucking weird, man.
Yeah, I did not know that, but people shouldn't be doing that stuff.
I mean, I guess it's just, yeah, exactly. It's like
they do.
They just look. That's a gimmick. So you don't tell me they just happened to meet and fall in love. That's just that. No. I will not accept it. It's the gimmicky. They met each other. They were like, look, we're good looking people. We should just smash it out and fucking make two identical twin cousin brother babies.
Well, okay. All right. Hold on. Wait. What if it goes like this? Jeremy breeds Brianna, right? And it's like, oh, well, I got a twin brother. Is he identical? Yeah. I've got an identical twin sister. Huh. We fell in love. Maybe they should meet. Boom. Why wouldn't they fall in love too if they're genetics?
I doubt it was like that. My guess is that, like if you're falling in love with someone, you want your families to meet each other, and then the other brother and sister met and like, ooh, yeah. But at some point, someone's got to step in and be like, no.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. You guys look ridiculous.
Well, I know which one's not allowed to breed at that point.
The second ones, whichever. Doesn't matter. I already can't identify them, and I don't know them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's already a problem. But I think the bigger point is like immediately like in your scenario, Mur, when you're like, yeah, we met and we started liking each other. Oh, you have a brother. Oh, I have a brother or a sister. We're twins. Blah blah blah. They should meet. That right there. That should never occur. Like the two twins should be like, oh, you have a twin sister. You have a twin brother. Yeah. So they should definitely never fucking meet until we get married, because that'll be fucking odd. Right. Like I wouldn't immediately be like matchmaker. Let's put our identical. Let's put the mirror in front of us and see what happens. Like that shit's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like to. Well, actually, I enjoy fighting out of a corner, but it gets even stranger, guys. Both families live in the same house together.
Build a pyramid over you and die in that fucking thing.
Maybe without that, we could be like, okay, whatever. I mean, I don't care. I'll just look the other way anyway. But fuck, no. Now it's weirder. Now it's absolutely weird.
I have a hunch that they didn't find out about their offspring biologically being brothers because of how close they are in DNA until afterwards. And they were like, oh man, God, that's gross. Yeah, I don't like that.
No, this feels a lot like they went to a fucking like team ultrasound. And the fucking doctor, like, jokingly was like, ha, 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 did you know that they're cousins, but they're also brothers because you guys are twins? And then they were like, oh, my God, how cute. And they have been fucking milking it for everything it's worth because this shit's a gimmick and it's fucking weird, man.
Okay, how much should they be milking it if this is the first time you're ever hearing of it?
Well, didn't it just happen? Is it fairly recent? When was this?
Is that milk overdue? Have they pushed it back to get bread?
Well, wait, I made it even stranger in my own mind because check this out. So the sisters obviously have been ovulating for the same amount of time. And so, wait, check this out. And so the eggs would be the identical eggs that were implanted at the same time for both brothers to bust up in. So the only potential difference is which sperm won. That's the only potential difference between these two kids. And then you have to think, unless there was some weird traumatic injury to their balls, like it might be the same sperm that won the race on the same day because the kids were born on the same day at the same time.
So you're saying
crazy.
You're saying there was like a giant orgy going on in the house.
I mean, you can't put it past a couple like this. I mean,
are you saying that like if like my understanding that you're like maybe it was we're calling them Brad and Chad. So Brad and Chad, each of their 6 millionth sperm cell was the one that created the baby in each instance. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that's the only potential identical like X factor here is out of the millions and billions of sperm released in that moment in time. Like that's the only potential difference in these two kids because the chicks, their eggs are the same. So the only potential difference is which sperm won each of their races. And given all these circumstances, it like on that day was like one sperm out of each nut of each guy. Like was that winner? Like was he bred that day and released that moment? And that's why I do think it's weird. I agree with you guys, but I'm fascinated by twins. They're nature science experiment. We need them for science purposes and science purposes only. Otherwise, they should be fucking thrown off of bridges one at a time. Which one survives? They're the strongest. They deserve to live the whole time. Beyond that, I'm just fascinated. I want to see these kids grow up. I want to see how identical the kids are for my sperm theory to be true.
I wonder if like what do you think will happen if they hate each other? Like they grow up and like I fucking hate that kid. I hate Braden. Yeah. Caden's a fucking dick. Like it just as they grow older, they're just rivals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a total like just Cain and Abel like scenario. And by the way, Cain and Abel. The other day I was thinking about Cain and Abel for no reason at all whatsoever. How much of a raw deal has Abel gotten? He was the good one. He was like the fucking like this like the savior of humanity at the time. He's the one that got bludgeoned with the rock, and he gets attached to Cain all the goddamn time. The most evil motherfucker that ever lived in history. Abel, We don't talk about him. He doesn't get to be a WWE superstar. Fuck no. He just gets to die in a hole. The fucking rock hole in his head.
That's ridiculous. I don't know why. Did I just have that deja vu, or have we talked about that before?
I don't think so. It just makes too much sense.
Maybe your twin thought about it.
Yeah, dude, I could have swore we talked about it on this podcast, but hey, fuck me. You know, I agree with you though. He did get a raw deal. You're absolutely right.
Did you know goodbye came from the Middle English goodbye? I can't do this. All right, listen. GODBWDYE.
You did a pretty good job at it. Yeah. Good with you there.
Sound like a Spanish person with a brain injury. All right, let me try that again. Goodbye came from the Middle English word God bude, which is short for God be with ye. So they basically had the like BRB of like Middle English. Like they shortened shit up. The LOL of the Middle Ages.
Huh. God be with you. I mean, Middle English is pretty. No, one, I didn't know that. Two, I think Middle English is pretty fascinating because you hear a lot about Old English. I think the Middle English era of verbiage really bridges the gap like that. God be with you. Well, let's tidy that up with not religious overtones. Goodbye.
I like to think of it as Old English is how many extra vowels can we add?
Mm-hmm.
Middle English is how many extra consonants can we add? They're very unique in their own ways. But yeah, no, that's interesting. I did not know that. That's good to know.
Yeah.
But in the I can't remember the fighting parties, but isn't that like the Anglos and the French like kind of like competing for like who was in charge of the house and all that bullshit? Because like the reason we call it beef and not like cow is because like one sect called it this, and it was like the lowland, like, yeah, you don't get that shit. You're a piece of shit. So fuck you. We'll have the boof. And then we called it beef. And then like we don't call it fowl. We call it chicken. So like one party was eating one thing. And anyway, it's a whole fucking thing. And so is that what Middle English is though? Like it hadn't quite like formed completely yet. Is that where that comes from?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking like Old English to Middle English. So
Yeah.
ancient to like leading up to like more modern English.
If you're not,
like it hadn't been formed yet.
Yeah, if you're not isolating single words like this one, and you see like a whole sentence, it's more like readable to the American English eye or like the more modern English eye than like Old English. You could fucking be like, what? Those aren't words.
Well, because I watched a YouTube video one time and it was like, okay, so basically this is the guy's premise. So English, right? How far back in time could you go knowing English and still speak to English-speaking people? Yeah. And it was like the furthest back you could go was like the early 1600s. Any further back than that, like you might speak the language, but they'd have no idea what you're saying and vice versa. It would be like two foreign languages.
Right.
Like, so basically Shakespearean times is like the furthest you can go back and still utilize like your linguistic skills. Otherwise you're done. You're dead in the water.
Sitting there fucking karate chopping people.
They damn. Where did
they understand that language.
Like,
yeah, you know that, motherfucker?
Fucking Mr. Like, Miyagi up in this shit.
Like the time periods, but it just gives you perspective on how fucking old Europe is. Old English was language spoken during the 5th to the mid-12th century. Middle English was spoken during the 11th to the late 15th century. So, yeah.
Like, so after that, we might be able to communicate.
Talk about Old English was from 600 to what, 1100s?
Jesus,
and then the fucking Middle English was from fucking the thousands to the fucking 1400s.
Yeah,
Jesus,
and that's all slang.
Fucking,
that
everything that we're sitting on right now was just didn't even fucking exist until late in that period. Like somebody was like, I bet you there's some stuff over there. We can't see, but let's go check it out.
That's wild, man.
We're starting to dip, and we're starting to dip into like bullshit English now. We're like kind of in this like crossroads of.
Yeah, we're getting into just talking in symbols. And it's well, to that point.
Well, we're already texting in hieroglyphs, so we're just kind of regressing. We're Benjamin Buttoning our way back to fucking language.
Plea deal?
They were dumb back then, but just because they hadn't learned stuff, we're just re-dumbing ourselves, but in a totally opposite.
Well, maybe if we get the time travel, Neuralink will work. Like, all right, I need to speak in Middle English. Gooby, hoo ha, ching ching, hoo hoo hee.
I don't.
That's how they talked.
Did you know? In 1830, the average American was consuming 1.7 bottles of hard liquor per week.
I'm assuming a bottle is 1.75 liters, kind of our equivalent to a fifth.
Yeah.
1 and 3/4 that was on average.
And by the way, if you think about it, they probably weren't drinking on Sunday, so like that's probably where that extra like 0.3 is missing. I mean, they're drinking about.
Is it that bad?
Almost 2 bottles of.
Is it not nearly as bad now? Have we dropped off that much?
Yeah.
I don't know.
How much hard liquor? Okay, hard liquor. You're talking about 1830. Hard liquor ain't changed. Like, we want liquor from 1830. Like, that's like connoisseurs are like, this is an original bottle of Jack Daniels straight from the barrel. It evaporated to a point where there was only 1 bottle left. Like, we want that bottle.
Right.
Like, so it's the same shit. I could not drink 2 bottles of hard liquor in a week, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay.
On average, Wes, you got to remember, too, there were some Puritans back there that were drinking exactly 0 bottles of hard liquor. That means there were some that were drinking like 4.
That's a good point. Yeah. And much less, the population was cut drastically. So
it is something you got to keep in mind, too, like fucking like the ale like that you see in like old timey shits like that, and like mead. Those fucking things usually carry like 10+% alcohol by volume. So you are drinking like at the low end like a light wine, and at the high end like a light spirit. So yeah, no, I totally believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're also dying of like really bad shit at a really early age too. So why not? You aren't going to make it. Your liver wasn't going to survive to cirrhosis. Like if you did, you were doing something right.
Right? Like you went out logging, fucking Fred got eaten by a bear. You come back home, fucking
bummed out slightly.
Just bummed out. Mary Beth's giving you the business about something, and fucking so you go to the pub, right. you get it in.
Yeah,
and you come. Do it all over again, you know?
Your kids are trying to learn new English. You're like, Jesus Christ. What the fuck is this?
Trying to get rid of this Middle English. It's fucking stupid.
Now, when I was a ye old lad. And finally, did you know chocolate milk was originally sold as medicine?
No, but it is the greatest medicine.
Yeah.
It's so delicious.
Like broken
broken
hearts and colds.
There is something about like when you're just feeling a little blue. Like I did this the other day. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna have a big ass glass of chocolate milk for no reason at all whatsoever. And I felt better. It was cold, it was crisp, it was refreshing, it was chocolatey. I mean, chocolate has shit in it, right?
Yeah. It's something. Some sort of, yeah, it is. Well, it's kind of like hold on. Chocolate milk has something in it. Yeah, I mean, yes, it does have something to make you feel good about yourself. Whatever the hell that is. Probably some sort of Elon Musk Neuralink bullshit. Dopamine.
See, there was the ancient orgasmatron. A little glass of Nice warm chocolate milk because there was no real refrigeration.
I'm about to fucking like next overnight order me a Hershey's syrup for some chocolate. Oh God.
Let me tell you boys something about having a toddler and small child in the house. There's temptation around every corner, man. Those little fucking those little muffins, those little chocolate chip muffins. There's an infinite supply inside my pantry. There's like 3 bottles of unopened Hershey's chocolate syrup in the pantry. I can see them. I can envision where they are. Goldfish crackers for days. I could fill a bathtub up with goldfish crackers right now. And they're goddamn delicious. And they're baked and they're not even that bad for you.
Oh.
And a doctor didn't even have to write you a prescription, yeah?
No.
So go buy them shits.
Kelly's just been baking stuff, and she, I think Wes, you've had her black bottoms.
Oh,
before.
God. Jesus.
And so,
in
like,
a good way.
She tried something else. She tried something new, where like she got these like silicone, like she got little silicone molds that are just shaped, but she wanted like a certain thickness to the black bottom, and she got like these heart shaped ones for Valentine's Day, obviously because themes. And fucking man, the black bottom ratio has never been so perfect. Like I was like, bitch, you just need to just keep making them, just keep doing it, make different variations of them, like make red velvet black bottoms, make all the types of black bottoms, please. But oh man, I'll let you know when she makes them because they're gonna be top notch. They're so good.
You should have her do bell bottom black bottoms where they're fucking bigger, get bigger towards the bottom.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
She'll do them. Was that Fun Fact Friday?
Officially, that was your Fun Fact Friday.
Beautiful. Hey, look, folks, before we wrap this podcast up here, before you go, the Winter Olympics just wrapped up in Beijing. This comes out of a listen, Mer, what was the God be with you or whatever you just said? How'd you spell that?
GODBWDYE.
Okay, I think this is Zhang Jikia. ZhangJiakou, China. All right.
Huh.
Yeah. It's I assume it's some sort of suburb of Beijing. So that 50
Yes, it's a suburb. Yeah.
50-kilometer cross-country skiing race that got reduced to 30 kilometers due to the bitter cold on this particularly windy and frozen day outside of Beijing. So it's a 30-kilometer race, which had me cracking up because then I had a heart murmur thinking about it. Only 30K, great. This Finnish skier, Remy Lindholm, all right, under the skin-tight suit that they had and stuff that covers the cheeks and ears of their faces, suffered what one could be described as a frozen penis. Poor fucker's penis froze. Now, they didn't say any other damage. He put a hot pack on it, and then he said, quote, when the body starts to warm up after the finish, the pain is unbearable. That was his only quote.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I have worked, we had, now this year so far, thankfully, knock on wood.
You have familiarity with a frozen penis?
Not with a frozen penis, but what I could describe as the potential beginnings of a frozen penis, amongst other areas of the body. We had that fucking polar vortex like 3 or 4 years ago where it got down to like 12 plus wind chill, and it got down to some days it was like -6 outside, and I'm out in that shit for 6 hours. Yeah, I can. When your body, like your fingers and all that, once there starts to become blood flow in there, that's when the pain sets in. It's not when it's happening. It's after the fact. I wonder, I don't remember what the Nordics had as far as penis size goes, but I wonder if when they come to more temperate countries, did their dicks just get huge because they've been shrunk up from all the cold for all this time because they live in that shit year round. So, you got small dick all the time, and all of a sudden you hit some more, you head off to the equator for a nice little like a summer holiday, and your dick just gets like 12 inches. Like, oh, this looks good. I like. I mean, how do you race for 30? Okay, at what point does your dick freeze? And then how long can you go with a frozen cock?
I'm having a tough time thinking this guy was from Finland. I assumed all Finnish dicks are impervious to any type of frostbite or to anything.
That's what I thought. That's fucking. So it took him an hour and 16 minutes.
Yeah.
Freezing winds, howling, freezing winds. So, I mean,
Christ, Murray, you lasted 6 hours. So, I mean, put that in perspective.
Do they say what the temperature was that day?
Yeah, hold on. Well, it just says nearly freezing.
Yeah.
Well, nearly freezing can be like 5 degrees.
Yeah.
They just said it was a bad day that day.
I want to get technical. It's like 30, 31 is near.
Do you really need an actual Fahrenheit or Celsius reading to understand that a Finnish dude his dick froze?
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's very fair.
We'll just say the opposite of hell.
I feel like some armies have tried to get up to like Finland and stuff, and it didn't work out very well.
Right. The dude's name's Remy. God, I mean, that's just hard as nails. But yeah, but they put a heat pack on it afterwards. This is the one thing I wanted to ask you guys. Now, look, I couldn't. God damn it. Okay. Lindholm spent just an hour and 16 minutes transversing, as you said, Alan, the course in howling, freezing wind, leading to his penis becoming frozen for the second time in cross country ski racing, following a similar incident in Roku, Finland last year. The second time, is that all of cross country, or is that him? The context clues is him.
It's probably him.
It's probably him. I mean, he does this all the time.
So I mean, okay, so his penis has been frozen twice.
Now, was it really frozen? I mean, like, at what point do you like? If your dick froze, you're going in. Like, I'm calling it a day. There's no amount of metal that you can hang around my neck that's gonna cause me to keep going with an ice and. How? I feel like it would invert itself before it froze, right?
Like the guy who got his nipples flicked off.
Yeah.
You go to you go to the gold medal stand with a fucking bloody crotch. Yes, I won.
And somebody gives you the dick tap for good job, man. Your dick just shatters.
Crying through the Finnish national anthem. I no, but so yeah, you guys read that the same way I did. Dick frozen off twice, and we talked about average of fucking booze drinking. This guy could, maybe all these guys' dick freezes once or twice a year.
Right?
Yeah,
like, he's not the only one. He's just like vocally complained about it. He's like, fuck. He's like, I came from fucking regular skiing. The shit that takes you like a minute. To get down the slope. Somebody said I'd be pretty good at this, and he's right. I'm not bad, but my dick keeps freezing. Ridiculous. Like
he talking about like workplace hazard, something that might.
I didn't sign up for this shit.
I've been distracted. I've been trying to find this, but because the internet is the cesspool that the internet is, apparently in Norwegian, the Nordic countries, they will hand knit themselves cock socks. Like basically like they are like 2-dimensional size, and they will put a woolen sock on their dick and balls to make sure that this kind of thing doesn't happen. However, knowing that this is an Olympic competition, I'm sure he just went with the standard Under Armour garment so he could have his the sleekness. And at what place did he finish, by the way?
Didn't say.
It doesn't.
I feel like your dick's falling off. Like you're probably gonna come in close to the front of the pack.
Yeah, right? You're pretty strong mentally. You got some testicular fortitude, at least in part.
I'd love to hear the Jim Ross call on that.
Oh man, Alan, you looking up the race results?
Yeah, trying to see where he finished. Look, hey, I think it's outside the top 20. I'm gonna go start there.
Damn,
he finished 28th.
Remy, you fucking dickless.
The frozen dick.
Dude, I'm honestly just trying to figure out how to look this up. I'm looking it up in a private web browser because I don't want my wife to see me looking up Nordic cock socks. I mean, I don't know how to find this thing.
You type in Nordic cock socks?
Yeah.
Wool, Nordic. What would you call it? Penis sock?
And shame on the Norwegians for not sharing this with the other Nordic countries. Poor Remy's dick is fucking frozen twice. You know, the Finnish could use that technology.
The Finns and the Norwegians are famously fucking...
If pro wrestling's taught me anything, they hate each other.
Finns and the Norwegians.
The Swedish are usually like, hey, come on.
Classic rivalry.
All right, Alan, tell the kiddos where you can find the middle class holes. If you're up to it.
You can always find us on all your favorite social media platforms. We're at MDL Classholes on Instagram and Twitter. You can find us as the Middle Class Holes on TikTok. Check us out on TikTok. And, of course, the Middle Class Holes on Facebook as well. Check us out there where we just tell you stuff and post some things from time to time. As always, for your ear holes, as I just glitched there for just a short moment, you can check us out for your listening pleasure on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And, of course, our favorite means of communication, shoot us an email at tickleourtummies@gmail.com. That's tickleourtummies@gmail.com. Murray, you're shaking your head. It's nothing? Not even a terms and condition update? God damn it.
No, not even a security alert from one of us logging in after 3 weeks.
I forgot. It's the uppercase.
I think after this penis freezing story, we're bound to get some listeners. Something's gonna come. Some good's coming our way. Murray, you posted this. It kind of hit me by surprise. I don't really even know how to pay homage to, other than just want to say we pay homage to the comedic magician, the amazing Jonathan, who passed away this week. 63 years old, had been battling heart failure for a few years. I remember him really well because I was a Comedy Central junkie through the early to mid 90s. He was on a really funny show called Make Me Laugh, where people would sit there and you had, if you made someone who was trying not to laugh at comedians' jokes, you could win money. And he was always really good at it. But I saw him on a few other things. Man, this sucks.
Yeah. He was sick for a long, long time. I think he beat cancer, and then he had this heart condition, and he went a lot. He had like a year to live. He made it like 10 more. Yeah. So the thing with Amazing Jonathan is, like, my dad, as much of a Puritan as he is, Amazing Jonathan really cracked him up. Like, even with the cigarettes and the bad language and all that stuff. Like, so amazing. My introduction to comedy was Yakov Smirnoff and the Amazing Jonathan. And obviously the Amazing Jonathan probably won out. It was the first time that you had somebody like doing magic, but showing you how they did it, but it didn't matter because it was so goddamn entertaining. I mean, he was a good magician, but it was just like, magic don't pay the bills, man. Comedy does.
Right.
And you figure out how to put the two together. And it's just great shit, man. I don't know, man. There's just so many good bits. I can remember his, like, with and his wife being the his assistant.
Yeah.
Like fucking up tricks all the time. And then I just remember him stabbing her in the head with scissors. And then her walking in the background with scissors sticking out of her head. It's just fucking great. It's just gold. Amazing Jonathan. If you've never seen the Amazing Jonathan, look up that Comedy Central special. It's fucking glorious.
Please do.
Yeah. I mean, that was well done. I hadn't thought about the Amazing Jonathan probably I don't even know how long. I didn't know he was like sick or had any of that. I learned all of that after you sent that thing, and I was like, oh shit. But yeah, like I feel like if I remember correctly, he used to like have Like he had various little when Comedy Central used to have like every comic under the sun, like had like a 30-minute stand up, like brief, like Comedy Central presents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just filled the day with them. And I'm sure he had multiple variations of that I would catch throughout the days. And yeah, like Murr said, it was creative. He was a good ass magician, which was cool. But then he found this gimmick that worked and made everybody laugh, and that shit was great.
Yeah.
Can't beat creativity like that.
He said when he found out about his diagnosis with his heart problem, don't feel sorry for me because I've had the most incredible life that you could have. Everything I ever want, I got. There's a lot to be said for devil worship. Shit, folks. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Appreciate your ears and all the happiness you bring to us, we bring to you. Don't even know if that's the thing. But hey, man, look, if you get caught,
I don't care about your happiness.
Fuck no. If I tell you what, if you're identical twins and you hook up with a set of other identical twins and you make babies that are brothers and you get caught manufacturing COVID vaccine cards, I don't even know what. I hope your dick freezes off in some sort of fucking Nordic cross-country skiing accident.
That sounds appropriate.
Good night.